Hi, I'm Sonia of Hecatan Stitch Witch, and this is my Pentacle Purse design. This was inspired by the Ace of Pentacles card, and this is a way for me to better go deeper into tarot cards and understand them better. But this purse is completed in a continuous round of single crochet, and you make sure that you tighten your stitches. So up until this point, I've labeled all the steps through the editing, and then I will go ahead and explain the rest of the steps once we reach that point of the video, and that's coming up now. So I did create the border using a slip stitch, but you can embroider it. And I mapped out my star so it was symmetrical with a thin thread at first, and then I did it over with acrylic thread. And then you pick up your stitches from the center point of your work, counting to the 11th stitch, and then you begin to work on completing the body of your bag. So now you're going to crochet through the holes with a smaller hook so that you have a nice clean edge to sew together with your purse. And this was a little tricky for me to do, but I got it done. So you just crochet down one side, and then I'm going to show you the finished look. And this is what it looks like finished. You're going to face your pieces to the wrong side, lining up your stars the way you would like, because we're going to sew these together now. You can pin them together if it makes it easier. I just lined mine up. I left the tail really long on that crocheted edge, and you can see here that the pieces just fit together perfectly, and you can just do a whip stitch and join your stitches together. This pattern comes together pretty quickly if you don't have a whole bunch of distractions like I did. But it's easy to sew it together. You just take your time and line your stitches up, and you should finish with a perfect opening for you to apply your zipper next. So now you're attaching your zipper, and you've turned your zipper over to the wrong side. I like to open mine a little bit so that it's easier for me to turn it back to the right side after. And you can see here that it lines up really perfectly. It's approximately 22 to 23 stitches that I had on either side of the zipper. And you do the same thing. You just match your stitches up and sew it together. Alternatively, if you want it to look like the purse does on the cover of this tutorial, you can use a clutch clasp, or you can use a snap closure. Because if you don't like sewing together the zipper, like I didn't enjoy it, you can just use a snap closure, because we want to just carry light things in this clutch purse, right? So you can see me here just sewing it together, sewing the zipper on, and then I'm going to turn it to the other side and show you the completed purse. And like I said, feel free to use the option to use the snap closure, because I didn't enjoy this part. I prefer to leave it without the zipper, but I wanted to create a few options here. And it would be at this point that you could add glue to secure your seams, secure your threads that you hide. You can add the hot glue. You can also use the hot glue now after you've turned it to the right side to secure the points of your star that I labeled, because you don't want your star flopping around on the outside. So I was just sewing in the last piece here, and then I'm going to turn it to the right side. And now your zipper's added, and you can just zip it shut. And we have the yarn version of the bling sparkly star pentacle purse that I pictured earlier. So this is the version with the embroidered star, and you can